In this episode of Cyprus Diaspora Uncovered, industry leaders and investment experts explore the future of Cyprus's real estate sector and its growing role as a destination for sustainable development, international investment and economic growth. Panellists also explore how the real estate sector can encourage diaspora repatriation, attract international buyers, and support the development of vibrant, sustainable communities through innovative housing solutions and strategic investment. This panel discussion was recorded live at the Cyprus Diaspora Forum on May 8th, 2026 at the AMARA Hotel in Limassol, Cyprus.
My name is Iness Karayianni. I'm head of sales in Cyprus Sotheby's International Realty. And today's conversation is going to be not just about real estate, but actually how real estate in Cyprus is evolving and attracting investment, innovation, people that build their lives here. And today we have a very, very interesting blend of real estate professionals as panelists. And I think it's important to have different perspectives. And today we have developers, we have real estate service providers, and we have investors, and a legal perspective. So it should be very, very interesting. So let me quickly introduce every panelist, because every panelist has a very good story to tell. We have Omar Awartani, founder and CEO of Awartani Capital, a cross-border real estate investment firm operating across United States, Europe, Middle East. And apart from real estate, Omar is vice chairman of POS Group, a holding company behind Moseko Group, an established regional leader in ICT and telecommunications infrastructure across the MENA region since 1995. Quite impressive. We have today Anastasia Yianni. Anastasia Yianni is a CEO of Cyprus Sotheby's Realty International, the leading licensed real estate agency specializing in luxury segment. Anastasia has over 22 years of Cyprus real estate expertise, combining insight of both actually a developer and also agency professional. And for those who even remotely follow the news of Cyprus real estate, you must know Anastasia because she's for years educating the whole world about Cyprus real estate and what's happening through her webinars. Consistency. Then we have Tassos Loizou, and Tassos is a developer, Medusa Developers, a dynamic real estate development company based in Cyprus, with strong focus of innovation, quality, growth, and he has actually played a great role in shaping modern residential projects that reflect the evolving needs of the market. Tassos brings forward-thinking perspective on the future of real estate investment, potential and design excellence. But most importantly, Tassos, as of recently, has a new honorary title of a brand new father.
One more because he's here.
Yes. And we have Artem Burtsev, 20 years managing marketing in international companies in Russia, Germany, Cyprus. Last 5 years, responsible for marketing and business development in BBF, the developer that stands out in Cyprus, sets a benchmark for quality, and actually recently develops really serious projects like Berengaria, Kean, and Land of Tomorrow. And we have Gilad Tafias, who serves as head of the Israel branch of Michael Kiprianou law firm and has more than 25 years of experience and expertise in business development and market penetration strategies, and has extensive experience in real estate investments in Cyprus and Greece. And I think all the panelists' combined experience in Cyprus is probably more than 100 years. You have how many years in Cyprus?
We've been coming to Cyprus for 8 years.
8 years?
Hello? We've been coming to Cyprus since 8 years now. And I've been a resident in Paphos, actually, for about 3.
Perfect. So 8, then we...
25.
25. Okay,
25 as
Tassos,
well.
you can beat us.
We are 25 years developers, but we have started construction. So in total, we're 30, 35 years on the market. Yeah.
I'm a junior here, so just 5 years.
Okay,
I'm here 7.5 years.
90. Okay, myself as well, 22. So we're more than 100. Excellent. So all this wisdom today.
Talk about assisted living.
So let's start with establishing where is Cyprus now. And from coastlines to skylines, Cyprus is a property magnet. But magnets have these dual two forces always working together, which is attracting is one force, and there is another force which is repelling. Let's start with attraction. And the first question, I think it will be very interesting. When international buyers come to you, what is it about Cyprus genuinely excites them? And what is your argument that wins them over every time? Anastasia.
That's a very interesting question. And I think it's like with doctors and medicine, there is no one pill for everyone. But I think that Cyprus has this absolutely unique choice. There are so many things that appeal to almost everyone. So it's not one argument, but most of the time, it's the general quality of life. It's the perfect way to raise your children. It's more calm atmosphere. It's amazing taxes. It's the whole package. If we add up, that's what wins. And I think that altogether, there are so many problems everywhere in the world that when compared with Cyprus, Cyprus becoming like this oasis of quality of life.
Omar?
First of all, I agree with Anastasia. I believe nothing is binary. Depending on the target group, each have preferences. But the biggest two I can think of is one is the strategic location. You are in the epicenter in between the Middle East, Africa, and Europe. Despite the geopolitical tension in the region, you still see a stable Cyprus where sales are growing year over year. And aside from that, it is the optionality. One investment can be a residence, it can be a rental property, you can sell it, it's very difficult to access all those forms of investment, be it for yourself or on a monetary perspective in one place. So Cyprus achieving that is a very good achievement for the country.
Tassos, what do you think?
I will agree with both, and Anastasia and my friend Omer. But one thing that we have in Cyprus, and I really believe is the most unique thing here in our island, it's our people. How friendly we are, how welcoming we are to all the people from all around the world. We are always friendly. We have great values, and this is what makes the people to be happy to be here. And it's the small things which makes a difference. Every person which is coming to my office and he start living here is telling me, Tasso, wow, the food here is amazing. The taste of the vegetables, everything is different. And those are small things that makes the difference in winning the people to love the island, because we're a blessed island, and I really believe it.
We are. Gilad, you have something to add?
Yeah, first of all, I agree with Tassos completely about the people and the hospitality. Another thing is that hasn't been mentioned before is safety and security. So it's not only the security, physical security, that it's one of the safest countries in the world, but also from a legal perspective that you know that your investment is safe and your interests are safeguarded and protected. So then you have certainty. There's not things that are changing all the time. So I would say safety and security.
Artem, anything left?
Actually, I can act like a boring marketeer. To be honest, it's a really tricky question because every developer on this island, Cyprus is included in the product portfolio. So people are buying our properties not because it's our properties, 50% minimum, they buy it because it's in Cyprus. And again, as a marketeer, if you start looking at this, in order to understand why, you need to understand the competition. And Cyprus in general competing, starting from UK, ending to Dubai. So we compete with Spain, with Portugal, with Greece, with Italy, with Turkey, with Israel, even parts in Lebanon, etc., etc., etc. And if you look at Cyprus from the perspectives, what is here, like number one in the world, or number one at least in Mediterranean, it's hard to find it, to be honest. And that's a surprise. I mean, okay, the coastal line, it's fantastic, it's nice, but I mean, there are places which can have better places. If you look at the taxation system, it's definitely business scope in Dubai, in some other places is more beneficial. If you look on ROI on the rentals, etc., it might be Bali or something. But when you start combining all these small, really nice things, and you get unique package, which is a combination of this, and that's what triggers people, and that's what we realized. I mean, we evaluate about 14 different target groups of people who are, I mean, the different 14, depending on the reason why the people buy, because it's not just the buying the property, piece of concrete, they're buying some value or some solution for their needs. And for all of them, it's always a mix, always a compromise, which stands out from the rest of the competition. So it's really complicated question, to be honest. I mean, we have so many marketing brainstormings, how to pack all of this Cyprus narrative together, because we cannot say basically, oh, it's the safest place in the world. It's not safest place in the world. Everybody would agree on this. You couldn't say it's the most beautiful place in the world, obviously. You couldn't say it's tastiest food in the world because people like different food. Some love Chinese, some Greek, some Spanish. But when you mix all of this together and you present it to the customer or somebody who's considering and choosing the country to move in or to have a holiday home, this combination plays a really important role for all of these people.
So I think all the panelists agree that Cyprus is like a perfect blend and perfect formula of happiness when it comes to real estate.
We're here, so definitely for us it is.
And what type of properties or locations are trending right now? And I think this is a good question for developers. And Anastasia, let's start with you.
Okay, yes, I think that for us, as we are the agency that work with the whole market, so I believe that we have a very wide angle. And you know, it's, again, maybe it's unique for Cyprus. You cannot pick just one. You cannot say that now everywhere it's 2-bedroom apartments. It's not like that. And that's the beauty of our market as well, and blessing for developers. Because, you know, in every area, there is a unique blend. I totally agree with Artem that, you know, I think that there are so many factors that pull people to the certain choice, to the certain property, to the certain area, that you cannot just pick one. However, I can pick the trends that everyone is appreciating. And this is, of course, the first one will be the quality of construction. More and more people are paying much more attention, so developers, that's very important. And the other thing that more and more becomes extremely valuable for people is the maintenance of the property. It's easy to buy beautiful property, but when you invest so much money, it has to be your long-term investment. And especially when you see that in many cases, properties are not so well looked after, if the developers are offering the service, that is something that pulls the decision.
Artem?
Actually, it's again the question which we can discuss for an hour, and I fully agree with Anastasia. But let's put it this way: the world is becoming actually smaller. People have lots of options. I mean, we've chosen to be in Cyprus. Some because they were born here. Some, like myself, we moved here, and every single customer that we see, he can choose. Country-wise, region-wise, because I mean, Larnaca differs a lot from Paphos, and Limassol stands out from Nicosia. So, coming to this, actually, you come into unique propositions. So, your project, your product, the way you price it, the way you target even people you combine within one property should stand out from the rest of the market. And this is how basically it's making it attractive and interesting for the customers. If it's copy paste, then it's, let's put it this way, it's not so demanded. So that's what we're trying to do, at least at BBF. We're trying to stand out from the competition, project based and the company in general based. So, but it's hard to say what's going to be demanded in next year.
I think a good question from investors' perspective as well. Omar, for you. So what is in demand? What is trending?
Look, from what we're seeing from our side, most of the sales are towards semi-detached villas, apartments, etc., things of the sort. But the most important thing that people look for that is not equal, similar to the perfectionism of the quality, it is the community. The people you're around, the lifestyle of living that is promoted by the people or the developers you bought from, all of that really equates to how good of an investment this is, along with the lifestyle you would like to live, you would like your family to live, your children, etc. So from the investor side, again, it really does boil down to quality and community.
Gilad, do you have anything that stands out as a demand?
I think basically you have something for everyone. So, I mean, from resale to off-plan properties, from Larnaca to Limassol to Paphos to the villages to Nicosia, commercial, for residential, whatever it is, and also in all of the different price ranges. So literally, I think you have something for everyone. So I think that's where the key point is.
Tasso?
They cover me completely, actually. But I will agree with something that Artem said, that obviously we can't know the future, what will be the trends on the future. But the most important, and what I'm doing in my company, I'm emphasizing a lot on the quality of the building, maintenance, which Anastasia mentioned before, are the things which the clients, they want to see that we care about them, and every client is unique. Some clients, they like to be on the mountain. Some clients, they want to be closer to the sea. So they totally cover me, and I think that's it for this specific question.
And then if we dive into, let's say, technical side, from what you are seeing on the ground, how fast is the buyer's appetite for green and smart homes growing? And where do you see it in next 5 years? Tasso,
yes,
good question for you, I think.
The good thing about Cyprus is that we're not attracting just people to come here to buy one property and that's it. The clients that they're coming here, the investors that they're coming, they're living, which means that if I'm living here, I care about the quality. Obviously, the young generation, they really want to have a smart home. As you know, technology is really, really very important nowadays. So yes, we have the demand for the smart homes, but also about the green homes. We already have regulations for it. In my company, what I'm focusing is all my projects are energy efficiency class A. And the Europe is pushing us also now by the end of the year. Now we're using, for example, 8 centimeter polyester around the properties. Now they will change it to 10, so we can have better insulation, we can have better thermal insulation actually, and energy efficiency. So those things obviously are important. The clients, they are asking for high quality because they were living here, and absolutely, they want to be on a nice property on a high quality.
But Tasso, this is adding a little bit to the cost. Isn't it pushing away some buyers that wanted more affordable property? And green element definitely adds.
Yeah, this is a problem now on the cost of the properties, because I heard also the previous panel, one of the questions was that, okay, the property price, there has been increased. Yes, they have been increased a lot, but the regulations that we have now are increasing the cost. So imagine that if you want to make your villa energy efficiency class A, it's costing much more than to have it on a different categories on the energy efficiency. And yes, unfortunately, push few buyers to don't make their dream truth.
Artem?
I fully agree with Tathas. The thing that I can add actually, again, as a marketeer, because my job is to think and look at the business from the customer's point of view. So we have about like 30 people here. So question to all of you, who would overpay, let's put it 5%, for the greener property? I see 1, 2, 3, 4 people, 5.
Not
Okay.
a majority.
No, minority actually. So, and it's really the business case. So basically, if we come in, people are willing to pay for community living, for some standards, so basically for the living standards, they're willing to overpay. But when it's concerning green quality, most of the customers, let's put it this way, they don't care. Of course, depending on the country. If it's a German person coming, definitely it's a standard for him. But if it's somebody who is coming from another part of the world, they ask you a question why. So, and most of the things coming to the green standards, they are coming from authorities, not coming from the customers. There's no demand for customers. So we as business, and I think Tassos is doing absolutely the same, we pack this stuff, we reshape them for the customers and present them as a living quality. And in this case, people are willing to pay. So this is how these standards are implemented. And based on my previous background, I used to work for global corporations which are producing construction materials. And sustainability is the topic for them for the last 20 years. But again, sustainability for all of them is not bringing the value, it's bringing the cost. And it's from one side it became posh, then it became additional cost, and additional control. And they have to pack it and they have to talk about it and put it further on to the next stage. So my personal opinion as a marketeer, it's not bringing the additional value. It's not bringing, decreasing the price sensitivity. It's an obligation from our side, which we have to work on, pack, explain to the customers, and show them as a benefit.
Okay. Omar, you have something to add?
Look, I think I agree with the point that is made today that first-time home buyers or investors are not willing to pay a premium for the green energy, etc. But I think this is, as time goes on, will be more than an expectation than a preference. And other than the regulations that are set today that I believe will continue to be enforced more vigorously down the line, because specifically in Cyprus as well, the cost of energy is continuing to increase. So when you go for bank financing, you want to refinance a property, you want to... I believe these are certain things that will be looked at down the line as a must-have rather than if you do or do not.
Okay, we covered positives, the magnet that attracts. Let's also think now about what repels. What is the other side? Definitely, there's always space for improvement in our system, in our industry. And of course, it's a big subject, but let's just tell one thing. What are the industry needs in order to thrive even more? If you could change one thing tomorrow, what would have the biggest impact in your opinion? And I think it's important to hear all of us here. One thing.
The one thing that I would change is like across the board efficiency. So to try and make things more efficient, also the planning authorities, the source of fund, the banking, everything basically across the board. And where I think the key, not to just leave it at efficiency, I think it would be by technological changes and basically developments, implementing systems that can help the current mechanism basically become more efficient. So
absolutely.
I would say.
Again, I act as a marketeer. The thing that will change dramatically everything happening to the real estate industry, not only real estate, is the brand awareness of Cyprus internationally. I travel constantly because part of my job is business development, so my role is to attract people from the new markets to Cyprus. Nobody knows what is Cyprus, even in Europe. There are nothing. I mean, if you come into Germany, they heard about that it's island in the Mediterranean. You can go there for the family vacation, and that's it. If you go to United States, they never even heard about it. So basically, some work, and actually it might be combination of business. Greece has a fantastic case with North America. What they did, how many Americans they attracted, and actually Americans now is number 5 or 6 golden visa property buyers in Greece. It was like first time in history, happened last year. So basically promotion of Cyprus internationally by authorities, by the business, etc., might benefit a lot.
One thing that I think should be changed and will be very great for the reputation that you mentioned will be with the delivery of your property to getting also your title deed.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Every
efficiency.
person is efficiency.
Yeah.
Every person that is coming to my office and he start living here, he's asking me the same question when I will get my title, and I'm sure they ask you as well. Why 3 years? Why 4? And etc. I will not. Just I wish that gonna be changed in the future.
I think I will add to everyone, I would add accountability. Because, you know, when we're talking inefficiency, we all know that it's inefficient, but nobody is accountable. Like, you know, when you're saying bank takes forever, but it's the mythical bank. It's the mythical one. When we're talking about the title deeds, again, it's mythical. No one is taking responsibility. When we're talking like, why does tax clearance take so long? How can you explain to, let's say, to a European citizen that the lady was not feeling well? And they're like, was it just one lady in the whole of Cyprus? But this lady is not accountable. Nobody is accountable. And we as professionals, we need to explain that it's Cyprus. But, you know, we don't want Cyprus to be known for this phrase, it's Cyprus. We want to be technological, efficient, and accountable, that we know who will be responsible for providing VAT certificate. And if it's not, why? And that's the thing. I think that will make drastic change.
Yes, I completely agree with everything that has been said. But another important point is transparency. To understand where this stands in the process, how long will this take? Is it because, for example, one of the developments we have here, it's been 2 years and we still don't have the title deeds. So it's
Absolutely.
absurd.
You know, all these answers are like absolutely things to do for the upcoming elections. If anyone wants our votes, I think here is the wealth of information. What should they kind of commit to, right?
And I just add one thing about what she said. What I tell our clients that are complaining, we need to explain to them why things take time. And I tell them that basically, from a marketing perspective, this is why you come to Cyprus. So yes, it's a package deal. So yes, things take time, but this is why actually you came to Cyprus, because things take time, and if things come, siga siga. So we actually leverage it as a positive point. So overall, if I have to choose inefficient and the overall, you know, the different area that you feel when you land in Cyprus, or the other way around, I think, or I don't know, take it to countries that everything is crazy. I think overall I would take this package, I think.
And I think if we were super efficient and everything, maybe what Tassos said about people being so happy might change. So
But
it's a
you know,
tricky one.
I don't think we're going to 100%. I think we'll be okay with 20% efficiency.
Could not agree more, and it's called Cyprus time nowadays. So it's being done in Cyprus time. So.
Okay. So we've talked about Cyprus, what it is today, Cyprus real estate. And if we take like a crystal magic ball and think about what's going to happen, where do you as professionals think Cyprus is going? Like 5 years from now, what will make Cyprus stand out in a global investor's portfolio? What's our unique value proposition that no other market could replicate? Tasso?
Yes? No, good. Yeah, because we explain all the good reasons why you need to come here, why to invest here. I'm very positive that will be continued for the next 5 and more, actually. We have all the reasons why to come. I'm sure that all of us, we travel a lot, and we know the benefits of Cyprus. We know that many new projects are coming to the market, especially for all my colleagues. Let's call it as a colleagues, BBF, Medusa. All of us, we are doing great job in order to attract more international investors. And as we said, we're a paradise. This is what we need to have in mind. We are literally a paradise, tax-wise, safety-wise. We mentioned that before, yeah.
Artem?
What I can add, it's quite simple actually. Cyprus, any market in Cyprus, because of the size of the country and population that is here, it's tiny, small market in the world scale. And from one side, it's a disadvantage, but from another side, if we're talking about 5-year, 10-year perspective, such a small market is really flexible. All the things that happen in the world, if people here adapt, I mean, come on, we all know the stories, one war, another war, etc. So flexibility of such a small market allows to be flexible in order to attract, to generate new customers, to adapt to the needs from different people from globally. Yes, all of these advantages that we discussed before, they're still there. They will be there in 5 years and 10 years, most probably in 20 years. And size of the market allows you quickly to reshape a little bit your product, to reshape a little bit approach, to start communicating different things and bring customers from another places. So from my perspective, the future is quite positive and it's quite bright because we always will find somebody who will like to move here.
But if you think about what differences, how can Cyprus stand out? If you compare Cyprus to destinations like Dubai, Lisbon, how do we stand out? What do you think, Omar?
In regards to Cyprus, the advantage here is Cyprus is still early. When you compare it to Lisbon, Lisbon is more mature, it's more expensive. Dubai is more capital intensive and a lot larger competitors there. And Athens is still improving, but it's inconsistent. Cyprus still has the gap to allow the diaspora, if you will, or new investors to come to the island and seek new opportunities by implementing new ideas. That margin is there for investors. For us, for example, the way we do business in the US, for example, is more organized when it comes to buying and selling, etc. there, because they're larger assets. Here, it's still in the process of becoming a set procedure, but it's still early. That is its biggest advantage.
Gilad? Or Anastasia, you can.
But now I'm thinking, and by the way, guys, I love our panel. I'm thinking that, we always say we need to overtake Portugal, Dubai. We don't. We are a small country. We do not need tens of millions of people coming to Cyprus. We do not need the huge scale. But what we need, and what I think now Cyprus is succeeding, we need to bring people who appreciate Cyprus, who want to make Cyprus better, who is involved in economy. I think that's what we need. And I think the blend of all the reasons that we describe, we're already there. What we need to do is just do the little bit of improvements that we discussed, and I don't think we will have any competition for the people who choose Cyprus, for these 50% who heard about Cyprus, so we all need to work about people learning about Cyprus, who made conscious decision to come to Cyprus with all its pluses and with all its minuses, and then we're covered.
I can add one thing, actually. Tassos said about this before. I'm a Russian who lived in Germany, in States, in Thailand, studied in UK, so I lived in different places in the world. And if you move to another country from your homeland, for most of the people, it's a huge stress. And we know how many people are coming back. And it's basically, I started at one moment to evaluate countries from one perspective. How many generations I need in order to become local? So my kids or grandkids will become local. So there are only basically 4 countries in the world which consist of immigrants. It's States, Canada, New Zealand, and Australia. When you can come there and you become local almost next day. In Europe, there is only one country in which you need 1 generation. If you want to adapt, if you want to understand Siga and how the Cypriots are thinking, if you're trying to understand, you need at least 1, maximum 2 generations in order to become Cypriot. And that's actually the quality of people that are living here. This is how they are adaptive and welcoming. I was working a lot with Greeks, and I see now the huge difference between Greeks and Cypriots, to be honest. In Greece, you need 2 generations probably. In UK, in Germany, 4 or 5 generations in order to become local if you move to that country. And from this perspective, if you move into living, and I'm not talking it's everybody, I mean, most of the customers, they buy a holiday home or investment property, but there is quite a proportion of people who make a decision to change their country. And for these people, if they want to live in Europe, Cyprus is the best place. This is really strong competitive advantage for people who are moving in for their living quality.
My late grandfather, he used to say, families that play together, stay together. So Cyprus will always be, compared to the other, first of all, competition is good. So I'm happy that there is competition.
Of course.
But comparing to Athens, Dubai, Lisbon, Cyprus is an island. It will always be an island, and it's very small. It's like a big village. And why I mentioned what my grandfather used to say is because it's like one big family. And even our personal relations, people on the panel today and in Cyprus in general, it's when you have the ability to call up the CEO of the company or the sales or the after sales and just say, hey, Regis, come, let's make this happen. This personal family relationship between everybody that's in the game is very unique. And I think that this is something that makes it very special and an advantage for Cyprus as a market.
And our last topic really is of paramount importance today, because we are here for the 3rd time in this diaspora event. And basically, we want to see what Cyprus can do to attract homecoming and investment from diaspora. So if Cyprus gets it right, truly becoming a destination that brings its diaspora home, what does that mean for the property market and for the island as a whole? And Tasso, what do you think will happen to the market if Cyprus attracts?
First of all, actually, I wish after this beautiful event that we will manage 2 of our locals which are living abroad from diaspora to come back to our country. Firstly, they have great experience from abroad, which we need them to improve what we have discussed before. And I'm happy because I see a few faces here. And the second thing, imagine that those people, they get out of Cyprus, they build their future abroad, but as soon as they will come, they have a different know-how. They know what we need from the big countries to develop our country. And of course, they will boost also the real estate. They will make their new family here, their new family. They will make their family here. They will come, they will buy a property to be close with their relatives. And of course, they will boost the real estate as well.
Anastasia?
I think it will be a really huge success for Cyprus because, I think that people were living in the 60s, in the 50s, 60s, 70s, because they were looking for better future elsewhere. So now if they can see that their better future is in Cyprus, I think it is going to be a huge success for the country. But for the real estate, I think it will mean that there will be bigger demand. There will be people who would appreciate the culture. It will be like the homecoming. So I think that it could be amazing. And on top of that, it will be the global vision with a local understanding.
So what would we say to somebody sitting somewhere abroad and thinking about coming to Cyprus, what is one message that you would give these people that are on the fence?
I'd say that in a world of chaos, as entrepreneurs or as people who want to have an influence, you need to be able to spot the opportunity. Cyprus is still early. The room for innovation and growth is here. And I don't want to be only over-optimistic. I like to have a balance. But this truly is the case. There is still a lot of innovation to be done. We need the people with great minds to get this done, to help Cyprus's economy boom, and of course, to tell them welcome home.
Artem?
My message will be quite simple. If you're talented, if you have international experience, if you feel valuable, send me your CV.
Gilad?
I think I agree with Omar. I think it's just the beginning. I mean, Cyprus has gone a long way, but I think it's just the beginning. And I think that I've lived here 7.5 years, so what I say, I actually mean it. And whoever knows me knows that when I say something, I actually mean it. So I'm not just saying it for the panel. I think the Cypriots have a very unique ability to not only be creative, they're very welcoming, and the hospitality is amazing. And they are very creative and very attuned to the needs on a macro level. So they knew how to adapt to the needs of the Russian, the Chinese, the English, the Israelis, whoever is coming, they know how to adapt, and they're very, even though it's siga siga, they are also very agile, and they know how to move fast when they need to make things happen. And they're very open. They're not presumptuous. They're always open to hear, to learn. It's not, and it's a mindset, and always open to external influence. There's no antagonism towards change. So once you have that you're open to change, and you're creative and you're agile, I think that the sky's the limit. So I'm very optimistic actually about the future of Cyprus.
Thank you. So representing a large design firm myself, I wanted to ask developers, the real estate agents that are here, kind of like, what are your pain points that you're finding, and how could we help? And especially when helping in terms of, in 5-10 years time as well, how could we help in the future to make your products better, more appealing to the people that you're selling to?
I think it's a good question for developers.
It's for me. I'm thinking about what kind of design you do. So it's architectural design.
We're an architecture firm, yes.
I'm not an architect, I'm a marketeer, but what I can say actually is we have a good architects now. We're working actually with the big firms, which make our life from one side hard, from another easy. To be honest, I cannot say. I don't have anything specific that I can say. It should be our development director and our architects, internal architects, who dealing with architects. Because for me, what is important is to present the future to the customer during when the project is off plan. And it's basically, we're not even talking about like floor plans, etc. We're talking about how renders and how building is presented. And the main issue for us talking to the customer is to have a reality, but really beautiful reality. So it shouldn't be fake. When you get in renders which show you building in, in Thailand jungles, but it's Cyprus, it's a fake, it's not real. It can look beautiful. So showing the reality the way, from the better angle on renders, that's what I'm normally trying to get. That's the reason why we really narrowed the number of architectural design companies that we're working on. Coming to the technical things, I cannot say anything. Thank you.
Now I understand better your question. Sorry for before. You are an architect, and where you are architect, if I may ask you now?
So I work for a global firm. So we are 1,600 strong. We are based in Europe, in London, for example, in Spain, Middle East, Singapore also, and the Americas.
Very good. So you can help a lot to bringing new ideas to the market.
Yes.
Just to answer your question, obviously You need to cooperate with a local architect here to follow all the regulations that we have, because every project, as you know, has a built-in density and every plot is different. But of course, there is a potential, and I know that many big firms, global-wise architects, they are working already on the market. So for sure, there will be a potential to the company that you're working or you're owning, and that will be great, of course.
Actually, you can give your business cards, at least to me, I think to Tassos as well, and I'll pass them to our architectural department.
I'm not a developer, but this is an exact example of the mindset when you hear the Tassos accepting a question from the audience of how he can improve, not assuming he knows everything, always happy to learn. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. So yeah, I just wanted to make a note of that. It's not because Tassos is my friend, because that's genuinely how Tassos thinks and Cypriots in general. So yeah, bravo.
So yes, we need your business card.
Thank you. I appreciate all.
Thank you for the questions. And if we just finalize with something really positive and nice, what gives you, in one sentence, what gives you the most optimism about Cyprus and its future? Gilad, let's start it.
I'll go for that at the end.
Okay.
I can say one thing, actually. Every day, I'm coming back home and I see my kids, and they're happy.
Yeah.
That's the truth, actually. I'm do the same, but stay positive. This is what I can say. Always stay positive, and the future is great.
You said it so beautifully, because yes, that's what it is. But also, you know what? I think, Tassos, you said it as well. I think Cyprus is paradise, with all its pluses, with all its minuses, but it is a great place to live.
I agree with everything that has been said. Stay positive, be able to be a contrarian and spot the opportunity, and always innovate. Look for blue oceans. That is the best advice I can give for everyone, and it's something that I repeat to myself daily.
Okay, I need to say that I like sunsets, okay? So I think Cyprus is a sunset destination, specifically Paphos, is the place to be. So, yeah.
We agree with you.
Yeah, so the sunset and the sea. So I think that combination is a winning combo, yeah.
Thank you very much for the wonderful conversation we had today. Thank you, audience. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did.
Thank you for listening to Cyprus Diaspora Uncovered. Subscribe to our podcast on Spotify or Apple Podcasts for more inspiring conversations that are shaping Cyprus's global future. You can also explore more episodes on our website and selected video interviews on our YouTube channels.